Okay, great. So let's just start just with bringing knees up high, just bring them up, and as they get to the top, squeeze them higher. So we're not just going through the motions of bringing them up, but we're squeezing them up and feeling it then in your core to drive those knees higher. Each rep, let's focus on driving them a bit higher and a bit higher. Okay, on the next rep, we're just going to keep that leg up. We're going to point the heel down towards the floor, so pull the toes up, and we're just going to start drawing circles with that heel. We're going to do 10 in that direction and then 10 in the other direction. So 10 in the other direction. Keep those toes pointing up, heel down. Okay, when that's done, change legs and do the same. Okay, good. From there, we're just going to go into some heel flicks, but just nice slow ones. Side to side. Okay, good. And then from there, we're going to go into 20 calf raises. $17, $18, $19, $20. Okay. We're then going to come into our normal stance of squat. We're going to go for 5 squats, and we're just going to focus on driving the knees out and just knowing where you are for the whole time through that movement. Okay. When we've done 5, we're going to take our stance wider. I'm going to go for another 5. We should start feeling this in the adductors here. 5, and then once you've done those 5, we're going to go ever so slightly wider again. Feet probably now pointing outwards quite considerably, and you go for another 5. Okay, good. And last one of this first block, Jefferson's curl. So we're going to stand up straight. We're going to internally rotate, so roll our shoulders inwards, hands coming inwards as well, so thumbs pointing in. And as we come down then, chin tucked into chest, and then vertebrae by vertebrae, we're just coming down over with the aim at touching your toes. Really slowly. Down to the bottom, hold for a couple of seconds, and then back up again. Don't forget to breathe. We're going to go for one more of those. So roll those shoulders in, point those thumbs in then towards your thighs, and then rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae. Hold for a couple of seconds at the bottom, and then back up. Okay, great. Grab a drink. I'll do the same. Okay, so next one we've got. So we're going to stand in a like a lunge position, like a split lunge. And what we're going to do is we're going to start at the top position. So if I've got my left leg forward, the top position is twisting to the right but looking forwards. And as we come down into that lunge, we're going to twist our body round to the forward leg but keep looking forwards. So head faces forwards, as we come up, body twists. Okay, good. We're going to go through 5 of these. for the top. Shake those legs out when you've done the 5. Then we're going to switch over. So again, remember, we're at the top, we go to the open side, at the bottom we go to the closed side of the forward leg, okay? So starting at the top, looking forwards, lunging forwards, twisting around to the forward leg. Keep looking forwards. Okay, excellent. Then we're going to drop back down to the floor in that lunge position where we were in the front at the beginning, and we're just going to rotate then from side to side. Don't worry about looking forwards, and we're going to start building that momentum and letting that momentum push the range further. Okay, stay in that position. Whichever leg you've got forwards, stick the corresponding hand up in the air, the other hand pointing down towards the floor, and then, by sending your hip out to the side, you're going to put your hand down towards the floor. Half kneeling windmill. So we're going to go for 5 of those. Okay, good. Then we're going to change sides and repeat. So into those rotations. Okay, let's do 4 more total. 1, 4, and then hand on the same side as the forward leg. And we're going to rotate over, trying to keep that arm pointing vertically up towards the ceiling. Okay, excellent. We're going to go back into that first position with the first leg forwards. And from there, we're going to put both hands out in front. The hand that's on the side of the forward leg is going to stay where it is, pointing forwards. And the hand that's on the open side, so the one of the rear leg, is then going to rotate around 180 degrees. So it points backwards. We're going to go for 5 of those. You will feel this hip opening as well as the hand comes backwards. So we're getting a nice opening of the upper back, but also a bit of mobility through the hip as well. So a couple more, I think. Okay, once you've done your 5, switch sides. Arm stays pointing forward on the side of the forward leg, and then around. Lovely. Once that's done, as we're down here, down to hands and knees, we're going to go into 10 cat-cows, so driving your spine up into the ceiling and looking forwards down towards your knees, and then exhaling, driving belly button down towards the floor, looking forwards. So we're going to go for 10 of those. Really push that range, use your core to drive up or down. Okay, last couple of reps. Okay, then last one of this block then. We're going to go for 10 on each side. So we're going to go fingertips to forehead, elbow pointing down towards the floor. Let's get a nice bit of volume of these in because they're great. So for 10, elbow pointing towards the ceiling and down again. And we're going to go for 10 on each side. Okay, once you've done your 10, change sides. Once these are done, grab a drink, we'll have a quick break before we go on to the next part. It looks like a sauna, it feels like one. Okay. So grab your weight. So we're just going to use the weight to help us with some of these movements. So the first one I'm going to go for is a halo. So if you've got a dumbbell, holding it and coming down the back of the head. If you've got a kettlebell, holding it upside down by the horns. We're going to go for 5 in each direction. So nice and low around the back of the head, really asking a lot of those shoulders. 4 and 5, okay, good. And the other way. 4 and 5, lovely. We're going to come down into that half kneeling position again. We're going to hold the weight in the arm of the rear leg. So the leg that is back, we're going to hold the weight in, and from there we're going to go for 5 presses. Okay, change arms, change legs. We're going to go for another 5. Okay, excellent. And then we're going to stand. We're going to hold that weight to the chest, and we're going to go back into those high knees marches. Drive those knees up. Hold that weight, keep the core tight. Okay, 4 more total. Okay, excellent. Then the weight's going to come down to holding here. If you've got a dumbbell, let's hold it like you are. And if you've got a kettlebell, ideally like this, so it's not as doesn't go down as low. And then we're going to go back into those Jefferson curls that we did at the beginning, but this time assisted by some weight. So shoulders rolling forwards, neck, chin down to chest, and we're curling over. Don't worry about your lower back here, because the weight we're using is so light. Unless you're holding onto a 32 kilo kettlebell, you've gone too much. Okay, and curling over, nice and slow. Feel it in the back, the hamstrings, stretching those lats out. And back up, we're going to do 3 of those in total. So just use that weight just to put a bit more tension through the movement. Now you see why you need to hold the kettlebell so it doesn't drop as low, because otherwise you'll hit the floor way before your flexibility gets tested. Okay, that's 2. 1 more then. Okay, good. And then we're going to come into a cross-body single leg deadlift. So we're going to work the left leg first. The right hand is going to hold the weight. So I'll just use a dumbbell for this one. And what this is going to look like is we're going to do 5 reps on each side, working this front leg, the other leg's off the floor. We're deadlifting over, and the weight's coming across to the outside of the forward leg. Okay, good stuff. Okay, once you've done those 5, change sides. Okay, and the last exercise for the weight. We're going to go back to that half kneeling windmill position, so down here. we're going to get our weight in the hand, which is on the side of the front leg. We're going to do the same movement for 5 reps, a little bit of extra shoulder stability and effort here now with the weight. We're going to come over for 5, and let's try and keep that weight or that arm nice and vertical so that weight stays stable. If we come over to the side like this, it's just going to make life harder because the weight isn't going to be pushing straight down through your arm. When you've done your 5 reps, change sides. Okay, excellent. We've got one more movement for the weight now. We're going to hold it to chest. We're going to take that stance really nice and wide like we did at the beginning. We're going to go for 5 squats, but we're going to pause for 3 seconds in the bottom. So it looks like this, down to the bottom, pausing for 3, 2, 1, and up, okay? So ready to go again, down to the bottom, pausing 3, 2, 1, and up. Down and pausing 3, 2, 1, up. 2 more to go, down to the bottom, pausing 3, 2, 1, and up. Ready for the last, down to the bottom, pausing 3, 2, 1, and up. Okay, excellent. You can put that weight back down to the side now. Okay, so next we're going to come down to the floor. And straight off the bat, nice and easy, we're going to go for 10 glute bridge. When that's done, we're going to get our right leg and we're going to bring it over the left leg, which is still bent. So hopefully you can see that from where I am. So my right ankle is pretty much on my quad of my left leg. From there, we're going to keep our back flat against the floor and we're just going to start rotating from side to side with the aim of getting the bottom of this foot down to the floor and this knee down to the floor on the other side. Now, this will pull your back off the floor slightly, so the aim is to keep your upper back flat against the floor the whole time. If that means you can't get your foot down to the floor, that's fine. Just keep that back flat against the floor. Okay, so let's do 4 more in total, so 2 more on each side. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, change legs, and we're just going to start on this side. If it helps to keep your back flatter against the floor, you can put your arms out into like a crucifix position. Okay, good. 6 more total. 1, 2, 5, and 6. Okay, great. We're going to stay down on the floor, but you might just want to sit up to watch this next one because it's a new one. It's a glute bridge and reach and twist. So from here, we're going to come up into a glute bridge, and then this right arm is going to twist over and try and touch the floor up above your left shoulder. So effectively what's happening here is we're glute bridging. As we reach over, we're coming up onto the other shoulder. So hopefully that's clear. So I'll start again. Up into a glute bridge. Doesn't matter which arm you start with, but it's going to cross you over the body and you're going to rotate up and reach. And we should feel a nice stretch up in this lat here. I've got no specific number of reps for you for this one. Just have a go at it. Although it would work better to do maybe 5 reps on one side and then change over. Okay, excellent. Just finish off a couple more reps there. Stay down in that glute bridge position. And what we're going to do just to finish off that block is we're going to come up into a glute bridge. We're going to put our arms above our head. We're going to push our fingernails down to the floor. We're going to push them as far away as we can. And we're just going to hold it there then for 5 deep breaths. Okay, excellent. Right, back up to standing, grab a drink. We're going to finish off with a bit of stretching. Okay, so let's get started on the quads. You've got 2 options for the quads today. Option 1 is your standing quad stretch. Option 2 is using a sofa. I'm going to be lazy, so I'm going to use the sofa with the idea being that your knee is down on the floor here. And we're in this position here. So it's up to you. We're going to go for 30 seconds and we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Okay, 30 seconds here. Let's make the most of this now. It's probably didn't do much more stretching in the week, do we? So let's make sure we can feel that stretch the whole time in that quad. Got 15 seconds to go. Okay, good stuff. Sometimes you find you get a better stretch if you rotate your body slightly in one direction or the other, and you can feel a bit more coming out of it. It's personal, but sometimes it does. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and release that stretch. That was actually 45 seconds, so let's do 45 on the other leg as well. Okay, ready to go with the other leg. We'll start in about 5 seconds. Okay. And let's go. The best stretching is the one where you don't realise you've actually done longer than you're supposed to. Because let's face it, it's boring. Okay. Ten seconds left. 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, lovely. We're going to come on to the calves now. A few options. If you've got a wall that you can push against, then we can go for that calf stretch. If you've not got a wall that you can push against, then we can come into like a downward dog here, 1 foot on top and pushing down into that calf there. Alternatively, you could probably sit down and push over that knee as well here. Alright, so whichever one you fancy doing, I'm going to push against the wall. We're going to do 45 seconds on each one. So starting then in 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, good. 15 seconds to go. Five, four, three, two, one. Okay, nice swift changeover. We're going to start the other leg then in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Again, like with the quad stretch, sometimes if you just move yourself slightly repositioned but keeping those feet flat on the floor, you can get a better stretch out of it. Okay, 5, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. We're going to come back to the quads now. We're going to do 30 seconds on each side. I'll come and do standing one. So starting in 3, 2, 1. There we go. 30 seconds on each quad then we'll go back into the calves again. Ooh. Again, with this standing quad stretch, sometimes you can externally rotate the knee like this, or internally slightly, and you can get a better stretch out of it. You might find that from time to time. Okay, 5, 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. We'll start the next one in 3, 2, 1. There we go. Okay, then for the next, for the calf stretch, we're going to do the downward dog variation, which I showed you. Unless you did that as your first one, and then you can do the pushing against the wall one. Okay, 5, 3, 2, 1. So we're going to come down into that downward dog position. We're going to put one foot on top of the other calf there, so we're just pushing through one, and then we're going to hold that stretch there for 30 seconds. Driving that heel down towards the floor. Get a bit of strain through the shoulder as well. Bit of stability work as well. Okay, 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's swap straight over into the other foot, as long as your shoulders are feeling okay. Okay, 5, 3, 2, 1. Good. And we're going to finish off on glutes and hips with our 90-90s. So come down to the floor. Just put this bench away. Come down to the floor. And from here, we're going to work through our 90-90s. You've got options here. So you can either literally just go for the standard 90-90, so that one, or you can go for the other one that we've done before, where we come over into the 90-90, lift that foot, come back into the middle, sit back and over, okay? It's up to you. We're going to work through that 90-90 just for a few reps now. So we're aiming for 20, like we did before. That's about 10 for me. Okay, that takes me to 20. From there, we're going to come into 5 Jefferson curls to finish. It's up to you whether you want to use the weight or not. That's the one where we're curling over. Okay, so we're going for 5 of those. That's it, nice and slow. Once these are done, that'll be the end of the session today. Okay, there we go.